What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to talk about Dark Dimension 6 and Gear Tier 18, which are my biggest regrets in terms of Gear Tier 18 investments and which characters are going to help you the most in terms of Dark Dimension 6 progress in order to be successful as possible. I have been extremely successful in terms of Dark Dimension 6. You can see rank 300 on the first people to clear, and on the timer I have rank 150. This could be a lot better. I just don't want to spend the power cores in order to get that progress. So we're going to break down all the information that you need to know in order for you to make the decisions and don't make the mistakes I did when it comes to Gear Tier 18. There are some characters that are absolute dog shit even at Gear Tier 18, and I'm gonna tell you all about that. I'm also going to show you what I'm doing right now in terms of Dark Dimension. And right now I'm already on my 5th run, and I'm doing the 15 runs to get the borders. So this information is coming from someone that is really grinding this Dark Dimension, and I don't have more progress just because I was holding back in order to make this video. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, let's talk about Dark Dimension. So this is my 5th run, and I'm on the last node. Once again, I was saving this for this video, and you can see that I have one-shotted all the legendary nodes. I have one-shotted the cosmic nodes as well, and this was with Nebula and Gamora, which was very surprising. On the city nodes, I had to double tap both of them, but it was like 90% completion, 95% completion, and then I just had to clear up a few of the enemies left. There are a few Kangs and Icaris that can mess you up. And then we have the global nodes. The global nodes are still quite of a problem, and you can see that I use a different version of characters. I use a Nemesis, I use the Quicksilver, I use the Lady Deathstrike, Captain America, Black Widow. So I try to make different mixes of characters and see what they were able to provide. And this is going to allow you to make your mind on what you want to take to global and not. I one-shotted one of the global nodes. The first one, it's the easiest. The second one, 2 attacks. The last one, 3 attacks. And of course, the free-for-all nodes were pretty easy as well. All of them one-shotted. So, as you can see, this is from someone that has been doing multiple runs, and I have been experiencing a lot, trying out different things, just to make sure that I have the best information possible for you, so you don't regret your decisions. So, the way we are going to approach this, we are going to take a look at the nodes based on the types. So, we're going to start with global, cosmic, legendary, and so on, and we are going to remove the legendaries first, because we're going to speak about them at the end of the video. So non-legendary, and now we are going to select global. Okay, so the big question, is Quicksilver a good character for Dark Dimension 6? The answer is no, he's not a good character for Dark Dimension 6, especially if you don't have him at 7 yellow stars, 7 red stars, Gear Tier 18, Isolate level 5. If you don't have these 4 things, it's not going to be good at all. It's going to be a source of frustration. It's going to be extremely frustrating for you. If he's completely maxed out like mine, he does okay damage, but beyond that, his utility is not going to be that great. People say, what about Scarlet Witch? The Scarlet Witch that he summons is just not big enough to be relevant. If you are very lucky, if you have a team set it up with Captain America and some characters that protect Scarlet Witch, you might be able to get some value of her, but you really have to make this team that protects your other characters with Captain Carter, Captain America, otherwise you're not going to be able to do that. So, don't get me wrong, Quicksilver is a great character, he's a great PvP character, but he's not a great Dark Dimension character. These game modes that we have multiple waves of enemies are just not made for him because his cooldowns are too long and his abilities are just not impactful enough. Quicksilver is a character you should get up to Gear Tier 18 after you finish your first run or your second run. It's up to you. It's definitely a character worth investing, but it should not be one of your priorities for Dark Dimension. In terms of Spider Weaver, should you get up Spider Weaver? Yes. She is much cheaper than Quicksilver, she removes negative effects with her basic. This is so important. Many times your Apocalypse gets ability blocked, and if you use the Spider Weaver basic, you are going to clear those negative effects away, and a lot of people don't even know that Spider Weaver does this. On top of that, she gives buffs, she heals, she applies stuns with traumas, she's going to get charges, she's going to remove the accuracy of the enemies, increasing the survivability of your team, and on top of that, she has all that nonsense that she does with her passive, which allows her to get additional energy and additional speed bar. So Spider Weaver is definitely must have in terms of Dark Dimension. One thing I'm going to tell you that is going to help quite a lot is to use Spider Weaver as a healer. The special with Healerize Await is going to help you insanely one-shotting or at least reducing the amount of attacks that you have to do on this node. So very, very important. She should be your main priority in terms of Mystic character for a global. In terms of other characters, we have Lady Deathstrike, we have Black Widow, Doctor Doom, Captain America, Nemesis, and Gambit. So if you are taking characters that are very fragile, and I'm speaking of Nemesis and Doctor Doom, you need characters to protect them, and this is going to be Captain America with Captain Carter. The problem with those characters is that they are dying out in terms of the raid meta, and because of that, it might not be good to invest on them, and they are two bio characters that are quite expensive to gear up. So if you're going to bring these very fragile characters like Nemesis and Doctor Doom, instead of bringing Captain America, I would recommend to you bringing Captain Sam. His skill instead of bio, and because he gives the extra speed bar to your characters, and because Dark Dimension 6 global, it has a lot of enemies all the time on the waves, you are benefiting a lot of more of Captain Sam than Captain America, and he's going to protect you, your Nemesis and your Doctor Dooms. Other characters that are going to help with this is Lady Deathstrike. You have a lot of minions on the global nodes, and with Lady Deathstrike special, you can turn around the enemies by 40%. If they have slow, this is going to count for additional 50% of the speed bar reduction because of how speed works. So yeah, Lady Deathstrike is going to help you quite a lot. So big regrets, Nemesis and Doctor Doom if you are not bringing your Captain Sam, and if you get up your Captain America and even your Black Widow, you are kind of missing out. The Infestation team is trash, and Captain America is really dying off in terms of the raid meta. So this is definitely something that I would not recommend doing forward. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So we're gonna finish off global, and we're gonna join cosmic. So in terms of cosmic, it's pretty much straightforward. You have to take Astral, you have to take Kang, you have to take Val, and you should take Photon. This is going to be the core of your team. There is no regrets on investing on any of these characters because they have huge value in other game modes. Then we have the characters that don't have as much value. We have the Phyla-Vels, we have the Nebulas, we have the Gamoras, we have the Star-Lord Annihilation, and some people are also taking Moonstone. And beyond that, I don't think any of these characters should be worth any kind of investment. So, do I regret taking Star-Lord or Phyla-Vel? The answer is maybe. It really depends once again on your ISO weight. If you take Phyla-Vel with Fortifier level 5, if you take Star-Lord with Fortifier as well, these characters are not bad, but they need extra survivability. If they don't have the extra survivability, they are going to be absolute garbage. And I kind of regret Star-Lord. Star-Lord, I guess I have to regret him because the Nowhere team is kind of garbage. In Alliance Wars, they are a little bit of a hit and miss. Sometimes they are good, sometimes they are not that good. They require other characters like Apocalypse to be relevant. Sometimes you want to remove Cosmo, other times you have to remove Star-Lord from that team. So what's the point of investing on a character that you are going to remove that from that team anyway? So Star-Lord, maybe a big regret. Nebula and Gamora, they are not worth it on your first runs, only on the second run, third run, and so on. If you want to have some fun, if you enjoy the Infinity Watch team, if you already have some investment on Infinity Watch team, and you want to take them to the next level in terms of progress. So once again, be very careful with Star-Lord. The other core characters, no problem there, but these other, the fifth character is definitely an issue. And once again, be careful with Star-Lord because that Noir team is a huge disappointment. Okay, now we're going to talk about City. City, once again, we have some big meta changes coming up because of the Sinister 6, and I'm gonna tell you right away, you should invest on the Sinister 6. The best Sinister 6 right now for the Dark Dimension, is going to be Vulture, Lizard, and Craven Hunter. So you have one tech, one bio, and one skill. So this means that Shang-Chi is going to drop off in terms of value, Spider-Man Big Time is going to drop off in terms of value, and Spider-Man 2099 is also going to drop off in terms of value. Some of these characters are still going to have value to gear up after you are finished with your first run and your second run, but they should definitely not be a priority in terms of Dark Dimension 6. Okay, so which characters I regret taking for City? Spider-Man Big Time, big regret. One reason is because he is usable, is playable at level 75 gear tier 14, and he does not need investments beyond that. The Infestation team has been a huge disappointment for the game. The developer said that there are more Infestation characters coming up in the future. Well, what future is that? What's the time frame? Is it going to be next 6 months? Is it going to be in 2 years? We don't know yet, but we had a blog from the patch 7.3 where they said more Infestation characters were coming. We still have no Infestation characters until now, so at least for now Spider-Man Big Time is a huge disappointment. Then we have to talk about Spider-Man 2099. Is not a disappointment, but you have to make a team that protects him. So if you have a tank like Miss Marvel Hard Light that protects Spider-Man 2099, he can be okay. It's one of those situations that you should change him to Fortified Isolate just to make sure that he stays alive. And if you have some of your other characters with LR Isolate, that's going to be helpful as well. In terms of Shang-Chi, is not a regret, but he has been dying off from the meta quite a lot. We don't have many places where to use him right now, except Alliance Wars defense. And in terms of Cosmic Crucible, we have not seen a lot of value from Shang-Chi in this season. We might see more value in him next season. And he might make a return with Avengers Tower. So keep that in mind, he might return with Avengers Tower. The problem is that, once again, Craven right now should be a bigger priority for you than Shang-Chi is, because Craven is going to have guaranteed value in Alliance Wars and also in Cosmic Crucible. Now, Firestar and Cloak, both of them were quite amazing. If you apply Isolate to level 5 to Firestar, she's going to shred. She's going to shred the enemies, and because of that, she's going to have synergies with Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, which is a must-have character for Dark Dimension 6. Cloak is nice, but he requires Miasma. He is a Mystic character, and Robbie Reyes is your first priority. So while Cloak was amazing on his own, and I used Cloak with Elias 08 because of the dodges, he had a chance of staying alive, and because he had more Yellow Stars and Red Stars, I used him as a healer, and it was a nice balance for the team. But Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is definitely your priority when it comes down to the Mystic gear, and that's what you should focus on. So which characters would I recommend right now to invest for Dark Dimension 6? Miss Marvel Light, Vulture, Robbie Reyes, Lizard, and Craven the Hunter. Even if you have them at low yellow stars, you're gonna get a better investment on them at low yellow stars rather than investing on older characters that right now don't have a lot of value, and then you can move on from that. Okay, so now we have the legendary characters, and the legendary characters, let's be honest, you don't need a lot of legendary characters. You need 5 legendary characters, and if you invest on the right characters, you're gonna be very successful. So Black Cat must have, Omega Red must have, and then we have Nova must have, I guess. Is bio, okay, so Nova is also a must have. After that, those 3 characters, those 3 legendaries are must have fine. Now, in terms of Shuri, I kind of regret getting up Shuri because she's not doing much there. She's giving defense up, she's giving deflect, she's giving energy, but beyond that, she doesn't do much. Her ultimate does not clear negative effects because it only affects Wakanda, and this is a huge liability. Many times you need her to clear negative effects, and she doesn't do it. Ebony Maw was actually quite good because of his ultimate. Applying the slow to the enemies was great. The offense down with the special and the defense up was also great. So I had more value out of Ebony Maw than I had of Shuri. In terms of Nick Fury was quite great if you have him with the Raider ISO 8, and if you put him next to Omega Red, he's going to provide energy to Omega Red, and you're going to be able to spam ultimates with Omega Red. It's quite fun to watch, and he's going to be very, very successful. In terms of the other characters, Magneto, I made him Gear Tier 18 for Alliance Wars and for Cosmic Crucible, so zero regrets there. And to be honest, we don't have a lot of mutant characters that actually hold value in terms of the game right now. And speaking of which, let's talk about Archangel and Rogue. Both of them are dog shit, absolute dog shit, but that steamy dog shit, the one that just pooped and you can see the steam going out, they are absolutely dog shit. The reason why, it's because Rogue, her cooldowns are way too long and you don't have a consistent way to make energy for her. If you are putting Nick Fury next to her, you are losing tons and tons of value by providing less energy to other characters. On top of that, her stats are just not good enough, and like I said, the cooldowns are just way too big, and she does not have enough survivability as a tank to tank consistently. Also, you don't have enough healing to keep her alive, so you have multiple factors where she's not going to be provide any value. Then you have Archangel. Trash. This guy is trash. This guy is trash, dog shit. He's so bad. He's so freaking bad, man. I feel so bad because I'm a big fan of Archangel from the comics and from the TV show from the 90s, and this guy is just so bad. His damage is meaningless. His passive abilities are meaningless. The damage he provides and the energy he provides is meaningless. He doesn't have enough damage to proc his passive to trigger the energy. It's just so freaking bad. It's really so freaking bad, and don't invest on this guy. Don't invest on Rogue. Don't invest on Archangel. Both of them are trash. In terms of the other Horsemen, Morgan Le Fay, she's still the best Horseman character. I know that some people out there are saying that no, it's not the case. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. She still provides 50% health for Apocalypse and other Horsemen. She provides 100% resistance for Apocalypse and other Horsemen. This is going to be huge in terms of Dark Dimension progress, and it's also going to be extremely useful in other game modes as well. I'm even using her in arena defense, and she's holding quite well because once again you are going to get that additional value on your Apocalypse. Red Hulk, unfortunately, she is not as useful as Morgan Le Fay. Is okay. He's okay, that's just it, he's okay. He's a character that you can get up after your second run or your third run, but he is definitely not a priority compared to Morgan Le Fay. And that's it, that covers all the legendaries. Okay, so we can talk about Dr. Octopus and the upcoming Green Goblin. Dr. Octopus is a lot better than people are giving him credit for, because now with his special he can flip negative effects into positive effects, and this is going to be huge. This is extremely helpful in terms of Dark Dimension. That line is missing from his abilities because we still don't have the rework version, but the fact that now he flips negative effects into positive effects, this is going to be extremely helpful. On top of that, if you put Dr. Octopus next to Black Cat and next to Nova, is going to provide deflects and speed up for them, and that's going to be extremely useful for those characters, and it's going to make your runs a lot more consistent. Is very expensive to get up, but if you are not going to get up Shuri, you are fine getting up this character. And of course, we don't have Green Goblin, but Green Goblin is going to be great as well. Even if you are not using him with Dr. Octopus, he can apply trauma to the enemies, he can turn rewind them, so of course that's going to be a great investment. So that's going to be it in terms of Gear Tier 18 mistakes, regrets that I have in terms of the characters I invested, and mistakes that you can avoid in terms of investment. Once again, this comes from someone that has a lot of experience in Dark Dimension. I got to good rankings. I have been doing pretty fast on my timed runs, and once again, I already did multiple runs, so you can trust all of this information. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.